In the cloud. All right, there we go. I even have a freaking tab right on my face and I forgot. All right. So let me say that again. So I'll just introduce what I'm going to do going forward. So we have this set for every Tuesday at this time. It's going to get to the point where we're not going to need to do it every Tuesday. And because we're going to run out of topics, but I'm going to do a lot of topics and I'm going to not just do basics. I'll even do, getting into, some more advanced stuff by like building a landing page and posting that to Facebook to try and get leads, those kind of things, how to do an ad on Facebook, a basic one. And all these things will interact with kvCore because kvCore is such a, it's a very good program. It is, I wouldn't say it's the most user friendly. I've said that before, but what it can do is endless, and we could really get technical with it. Everything that I'm going to do step by step. So you'll see it, and like it's recording right now. So we're going to post it to the Facebook page or the YouTube page. At some point, I'm going to figure out how to do multiple streams, maybe, so it'll go live on YouTube and Facebook. So there's going to be a place for you to go back and watch this step by step. So that's what I want to do, is just make sure that you're seeing it step by step, because that's where people get lost. If you go to a little in-person thing or even a Zoom, if they don't go step by step, you're going to get lost. So every Tuesday at 8. Next Tuesday I won't be on because I've got an event, and then I think the following Tuesday is the 28th. I mean, if you guys want to do something on the 28th, I definitely can. All right, so let's start. So in kvCore, whenever you open kvCore, this is, if you go to the dashboard, this is the first thing you see. Karen's is, there's a lot of people in here. Yours may only have a couple, you may have one. So it just depends on how many people you have, how many people are, because like these people, this person's viewing listings. So you can see what people are actually looking at. Now, this is very important, I think, because if you want to live in your database and you want to live in kvCore, you are going to make yourself some money, because you see what people are looking at. So if you see this person's looking at a bunch of houses in one day, you may want to reach out either text, email, or call. I would suggest call if you have a phone number, and just ask. It looks like you looked at some properties. Are you interested in any of them? Would you like to go take a look at it? So I would say the majority of the people that have kvCore or any CRM like this, they don't do that. I mean, they basically just see, oh God, I got people in my system looking at properties. Great, they're going to call me when they're ready. The fact is, they're not, most likely. They're going to use you to just get to MLS. And then whoever's talking to them, that's who they're going to use. They're going to pick up the phone and they're going to ask to have somebody show them a house. And when I was a realtor, I know this happened numerous times. And I would get calls from other people who are looking at using another agent's CRM, looking at property and asking me to go show the house. So it happens. So you want to check this every day. And, the people that you get in here, you want to see what they're looking at. I would say, calling, you can try it. I mean, most people, don't answer the phones. You can text them. That's definitely a good way. You can email them. I mean, there's different ways to get in touch with them. But this is where you start when you come in and you look. You can put alerts on a lot of these things. There's just so many ways you can use this to get in front of people, to talk to them. Just in my dealings in the lending side now, I get leads every day. Okay. I get, Loan Depot advertises like crazy. So whenever I want, I turn my lead engine on and I get calls. And I would say it's about a 70-30 split of when I'm talking to somebody, if they have a realtor. Okay. And so that's the way people are when it comes to looking at houses. They don't really have a lot of allegiance. So if you're the one in front of them, you're talking to them, you're most likely going to be the one that's going to end up showing them the house. So when you start here, you can see what's going on every day and what these people are looking at. So let's get into entering a contact. So you talk to somebody and you're going to put them in your system. We'll go over the mass import later. I think the mass import is something you would probably want kvCore to do unless you really are technically able to. It's easy to do. I've done it. But if you want them to do it, I would reach out and have them do it so they do it correctly. But I'll show you a quick way to do it. There's also on the right-hand corner here, there's the download the mobile app. I would suggest you do that so you have it on your phone. So if you're out, wherever, and you talk to somebody and you want to put them in your database, you want to use that mobile app. I'm going to go over that too at some point, but not today, but it'll be another class in itself. So let's go through entering a person. So all your contacts are in your smart CRM. Okay. Obviously, I think I saw that Brian was putting in contacts yesterday because his name's there, and then Bill Buckner, and that's a ex-baseball player. So I know that that's him putting it in, but you can see all the people that are in here, and these are recent. Okay. They always do the recent. There's information about each one, and you can click on them. If you click on any of these, you can go see what Brian had put in. You can go into the record itself. This is Bill Buckner. There'll be a phone number, any hashtags, which I'll go over here. There's where they're at in their timeline. Did you tab them as a new lead? Are they an active lead? Are they a prospect? Are they one of your Sphere client contacts? So there's different ways to mark them or classify them as whatever you want. And you've got all kinds of different options over here and what you can do inside of kvCore. You can send them an email, a voicemail drop if you have that active. There's other things you can do to not just call them, because it is hard to get a hold of people. I know that, but I would suggest trying. But there's a lot of different things you can do in here to the contact once you get them in. So I'm going to show you how to get them in. All right, so let's get out of this one. So the first thing to do, you talk to somebody, you want to put them in your contacts. You can either go, there's a couple different ways. You can go right here to quick action, and that's on any page, not just a smart CRM page. It's always up there. You can go to quick action, add a contact. That's a quick way to do it. Or if you're in your smart CRM section, you can also go right here to add contact. It's the same thing. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna click right here and I'm gonna go add contact. This comes up. Now this is where you're really going to classify them. You're gonna want to make sure you put in all the accurate information, okay? Because the most accurate information you put in, the better. And the more you put in, the better, obviously. So I'm gonna put myself in. That's not really my last name, but I'm gonna put it in as that. And then put in an email address. And then this is important. If you have their true cell phone, put that in, because that way you can text them from the app. You can text them from inside of kvCore, and that way when you do that, you have an automatic record. Okay, because if you do things through kvCore, it's going to keep track of what you're doing. All right, so you don't have to go in and enter, I made a call on this guy today, or I emailed this guy. It's going to do that for you. So you want to make sure all this information is accurate. Permissions to contact, you want to make sure these are all yes, as long as it's true. Okay, because if this is on no on text, then you cannot text them, obviously, because they haven't given you permission. One of the things we're going to do in the future is I'm going to show you how to have leads dropped into your kvCore directly from Facebook without you entering. And keep in mind that you don't have to enter contacts manually every time, okay? Depending on what advertising you're doing, whether it's Make It Rain, if that's what it's still called, or if it's a Facebook ad or whatever, they will come into your system automatically. Okay, you're not going to be physically, this is where you're physically entering somebody. So they didn't come in on an ad or anything like that. So this is where you want to be as complete as possible. So yes on all those. Lead type, buyer, seller, renter, vendor, agent. Most of yours are going to be buyers or sellers. So in this case, I'm going to say buyer. Okay. Click it. Lead status. That's whatever you want. That's however you want to do it. You can get, prospect. That's maybe what you're going to want to do when you're running ads, because it's a true prospect. New lead. That may be somebody that is physically referred to you if you want. Once you talk to them, you want to turn them into an active lead. Okay. You can do more with somebody on an active lead. You definitely want to be organized with this, because if you put everybody as prospect, which I would say most people do in kvCore, you don't know really where they're at in the process. So I would say kind of define what you think. This is all personal preference. So I'm going to go ahead and put new lead and lead source. This is the hashtags, and you can put as many hashtags as you want. You can, make up however you want to do it. The hashtags just make it easier for you to segment your CRM, your people. One of the things you're going to want to do is, once you start these automated campaigns, is you're going to have different hashtags. Okay. Because the campaigns are triggered by different things. One being a hashtag, one being a lead status. That's how you can trigger these automatic campaigns. So even when you manually enter someone, if you've set up a campaign that says start this campaign based on this hashtag, once you enter that person in your CRM and you hashtag them whatever you've made up, then the automated campaigns will be triggered without you having to do anything. So that's where the hashtags really come into play. Also, when you're downloading lists or you want to send stuff out, if you want to, you have a hashtag for Facebook ads, or you have a hashtag for buyer face, you can make it as in-depth as you want. You can have these hashtags, 3 or 4 different names on them. So for this automatically comes up as a manual ad. Okay. When you just add somebody in like that, I don't know if that's that important, to be honest with you. So I would take that out. Now you can go in here and you can create a hashtag, okay, if you want, or one will come down on the list here. So let's say I'm going to make this I'm just going to say test so I don't mess it up. And I had already put in test as an option. So once I click that, it's in there. So the lead source is test. This is the hashtag. Okay. So the next, and I'll show you where to put in hashtags too. But if you enter a brand new one here, it's going to save it for you in your hashtag list. All right. So there's a couple different places you can put hashtags in, but this is one of them. Lead owner, you don't have to worry about this. All right. Unless you have the team version. So everybody is going to be their own lead owner. So you don't have to put anything in here, but if you want, you can put your name in there. Now here's where you can start your campaigns. Okay. You are manually starting a campaign. So when you click on this, you'll see this drop down shows you your different campaigns that are available. So Karen has active campaigns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Some of you may click on this and have 50. I'll show you where the campaigns are. There are, unlimited numbers of campaigns that are already done. You don't have to physically create a campaign yourself unless you're a real techie and you're real, you want your campaign and you want it to do certain things, there's no reason to spend a bunch of time setting up campaigns. kvCore comes with this default new lead buyer, default new lead seller. Okay, there's nosy neighbor, So buyers on, and these are things that Karen has chosen to be active campaigns, whether she knows it or not. That's what they are. So let's just make this default buyer. Okay, so that's going to start this campaign based on whatever that campaign says. It may, when we go into the campaign, we may see that it starts it automatically. The minute you put it in, an email goes out, or the minute you put it in, a text goes out. Whatever you've determined, that's what that campaign's going to do. Okay. Next, so you can put in multiple ones too. You don't have to just do one. I would not do multiple. I would just keep it to one, okay, at a time. So now when you have a lender that you're working with, like me, you're going to want to put the lender in, because then what happens is the lender gets an email. I get emails whenever somebody comes in for Karen's, or when somebody comes in for, I think there's a couple others, but I'll get an email that just says a new lead is in kvCore. And myself as a lender, I can do what I want with that. I can call that person. I can email that, text that person too, because I have a version of kvCore also. So it doesn't do nearly what yours does, but I have a version too. If you're putting in buyers, you want that lender to know. Hopefully it's me. And when you put my name in, I will get notified. So put me as a lender, Carbon CC the lender, yes, because you want, when you're doing these things for buyers, unless it's your contact, it's somebody that's, you know them, you put them in, you don't have to do that with the lender if you don't want. But CC the lender, because buyers that come in off of ads and things like that, you want to hit them in every different way possible. So if you CC the lender, if the lender's smart, they're going to also reach out to that person. The more people that are reaching out to them, the better. So say yes to that. And then any notes that you want, you can add notes if you want. You don't have to, but you can add whatever note you want here. I do that sometimes. And then add the contact. So now it takes you to this screen. You can see what's happened to this contact. Campaign added. This is the campaign, the default. A new task. This is automatic, because in this campaign, these things are telling you what to do automatically. You don't have to set it up. It's this campaign saying, look, on December 14th, you're going to get when you come into kvCore, you're going to get a reminder that says, send a text message to this. Okay. And well, actually this is saying that the new lead is going to get a text message, and then task added, contact assigned to me as the lender, contact assigned to Karen as the agent. So all this is what's happened so far. You can, again, look at, I made it a new lead, but you can do this even right here. You can change it if you want. And like I said, you can make a call from within kvCore. You can send an email, a voicemail drop, whatever you want to do. If you're signed up for video, you can even do video from here. There's everything here that you want to know about the person. This is where you would see notes and things like that. It's good to, what I do now with my CRM is I make notes on everybody, every borrower that comes in, because I may hear something from them and I put it in the notes. So then I have, I don't forget, basically. So once that's in, this contact is now in your system. They're set up on this campaign. So based on that, they're going to get certain emails, texts, videos, whatever, just based on that campaign without you having to do something. You're going to see that in the campaigns, it's going to give you tasks. Like here's a task right here. Send a text or email of properties in their area. This is reminding you. Okay, you're going to see this when you go into your kvCore. You have a task. Okay, if you don't do it, you don't do it. It's up to you. You don't have to, but this is say set them up with a with a property search. Okay, and you should do that for everyone you put in when you talk to them. Now, there's some people that don't like doing the property searches in kvCore. They'd rather do it out of their MLS. That's up to you. I will say this. If you do the property search in kvCore, like you saw before, you can see exactly what properties they're looking at. You can get notified. It's, and I think it's a little more user friendly for the buyer's end than MLS is. So it's up to you how you want to do it. If you're actively showing people houses, put them in MLS. Okay. If this person came in on a lead, then let them continue to get their property searches through kvCore. So then you don't have 8 million of them in your MLS. It's just you either mark it done or you snooze it. So I'm gonna say mark done. So that removes that. Call and leave a voicemail. So it's telling you what to do basically. So that's putting in a contact. It's that easy. Okay. But like I said, whenever you're doing a automatic, an ads on Facebook, that's going to automatically come in. Okay. So you're not going to have to do that. But when you manually do it, this is how it's done. So now this is in. There's so many things, you got profile details, gives you kind of what they're looking for. Alerts, it's not set up right now because you haven't set them up with a home alert. You can do that right here. It's kind of like your MLS, set up what they're looking for. It's not as in depth, but it gives them, if you're it's just a lead, you can set them up on a property search here based on whatever they want. And it'll go out. This says once weekly. You can set these things up, and I'll go over these too in depth. I'm just showing it to you. I do it daily for everybody. Do it daily. Some people are worried, I don't want to be bugging them. Well, you want to bug them because internet leads want to be bugged. They have to be bugged. If they're not, you're not going to get the deal. So I do it daily. There's other things that I don't think many people use this kind of stuff. We got EXP has their own transaction system, but it's there. So that's how to enter one contact. So before I move on to showing you where the campaigns are, does anybody have a question? Just go ahead and talk. You can go ahead.
I do, Sean.
Yeah.
So my question is, if I change my client's journey from, let's say, sphere to prospect or prospect to new lead, does that stop the campaign that I have assigned to them?
It might. It could.
Because I'm not clear on when the campaign is adjusted.
It'll say I'll show you when we go into the campaign. It'll end. Okay. And you can have your campaigns ended by actions. So you may have this new lead that's just looking, and you're sending this campaign out to them. And then when they talk to you, when the action happens, you want that campaign to stop, because you don't want them to be getting emails as if you've never talked to them. So yes, there's in the campaign, we'll go in deeper into I'm just going to show you where the campaigns are now, but we'll go in deeper into that in another call where I'll show you can trigger your campaign to end when certain things are happening. This is all user input based though. If you don't use it and you don't make notes and you don't keep and do your new, your tasks, if you don't, then none of your, the campaigns you set up, they're not going to work right. I mean, this is all based on how you enter and what you do. I want to show you one cool thing here that kvCore's AI does. Okay. See this validation run? So if people are putting in BS information, all right, they're going to do, it automatically performs a validation run, okay, to try and get all the information possible from this person, from me. So Sean, actually, I put in my name as Sean Mack and it found me as Sean McManaman. Isn't that cool? I mean, the AI found me because of my phone number and my email address, not because of my name. So I could put Bill Buckner in there, which is one that was in there that was, a BS one. Well, if somebody puts in Bill Buckner, I used to get really creative names that would come through. You'll see them. If you're running ads, you'll get Mickey Mouse, you'll get all kinds of crazy stuff. But this thing's going to find based on your email address and based on your phone number. 50 to 59, that's actually my age range. I'm a male. And then occupation innovative mortgage. So that's years old, it's not accurate, but that doesn't mean it, you don't care. The website's mtgplanners.com. That's one of my old real estate companies, or my own mortgage companies. And then Real Estate by Sean is one of my active emails. So it's giving you all this stuff. Profile on LinkedIn, profile on Twitter. So this validation run does some work for you to make sure that that's not totally bogus. You're still going to get bogus stuff, but that's a cool feature. All right, so let's get out of this. So that's entering that. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you real quick, because we're not going to go, what is it, 8:30? So, all right, we're not going to go into I'm not going to go in step by step how to create a campaign, but I'm going to show you where they are. Anybody have any other questions? That's pretty easy, just entering a contact. But one of the things about going through kvCore or any system, start from the beginning. As basic as it is, start from the beginning and learn it as you go. I'm telling you, and I learned this, I don't know when it finally hit me in the face, because I've been doing, I've been in the mortgage business so I've always had a database. Real estate really hit me in the face one time when I was, entering stuff and going through my database, just how much more money I could make if I literally just stayed in my database and my CRM instead of doing some cold stuff. You'd be surprised how successful you will be if you pay attention to what your people in your CRM are doing. What are they looking at? What do they want? You can find all kinds of information in here. And if you if you utilize it, you'll be so much more successful.
I do have one question.
Sure.
Has kvCore had any issues with getting flagged as spam? I know that with Coldwell Banker, their CRM has been having that issue.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. It's possible that could happen. There's so many filters out there on these Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, all these things. It is possible. That could be a reason to call. I mean, that right there is a reason to call. Hey, I'm just reaching out to you to see if you received my email. Okay. Or send them an email that's asking them, are you receiving my email? Or send them a text. Are you receiving my emails? I want to make sure you're getting them. Check your spam. So yes, it can happen, but it gives you another reason to call them and just offer great customer service. If you don't want to talk to them, slide dial them. Okay, leave them a message. If you don't know what slide dial is, it's a system that automatically leaves voicemails so it doesn't ring on their phone. Just one way or another, but it can. I've seen they're very good at delivery because I've set myself up. I've set up other people, many, and they get them. The property searches get dropped into their inbox. So, okay, so let's go to all marketing. It's under marketing, all marketing. And you got a lot of things you can do in here. All right. But what we're going to focus in on is smart campaigns and hashtag management. So let's click on the smart campaigns. Now look, there are numerous, and you can go through them, kind of look at them, pick out what you want, activate it. Okay, so you got this is what's in Karen's right now. She doesn't use all these because we didn't see them on the drop down, but we'll activate them and they will. I'll show you how to do that. You got a kvCore library too. These are ones that are within the kvCore system that other agents have created. Okay, because when you create a campaign, you will choose, do you want other agents to see your campaign so they can use it? You can share if you want to, but the kvCore library is even more. So when you can, if you find one you like in here, click to add to my library over here, and it'll go into my campaigns, and then it'll be here. So what you want to do is kind of look at these and say, well, which ones do I want to activate? Right here, status, okay? That's activated right there. You see that? That campaign's activated, so it shows in her drop down. So when you put a new contact in or one gets started, you can use this. If this is off, you can't use it. So you want to either turn it on. Are you sure? Turn it off. Okay. So let's take one of these. So you can see she has a lot in here, but only a few that are active. All right. So let's go into the default lead buyer. Okay. So when you click on this in the campaigns, it shows you what this campaign's going to do. Okay. How it started, what's going to happen. You can get crazy on this stuff and put in however in depth you want to be. I'd say if you want to do your own campaigns, do them, but do one this week, do one next week. Don't spend a bunch of time on this because you can just go way into the weeds with this stuff. I mean, the techie people like me will spend it all day on this, and it's a waste of my time, but I do it anyways. But so it tells you. So what happens on this default new lead buyer? Immediately when this contact is entered, okay, a new task is produced, and that task is to the agent. And that task, and we saw that when we were in the contact itself, when we assigned the default buyer leads, we see these tasks will pop up. These two pop up immediately, and it tells you what to do. This doesn't do it for you. In this case, this is a task that's saying, do this, okay? So you don't have to have tasks if you don't want to. You're gonna have automation and just leave it at that. But this one is gonna give you a task that's gonna say, send a text with properties in their area. Okay, you can do it or you don't have to do it. This one says call and leave a voicemail, and it's going to do it for you. Okay, no, this one's a task actually. This is telling you what to do. Call and leave a voicemail. Okay, these two will pop up immediately when you enter the contact and you assign this campaign. Day one, which means 24 hours after you put that in, they're going to get an email, okay, from you automatically. This is the email. Thanks for checking out, okay, my site. Are you looking to buy? You're asking questions. Whenever you're setting up automated things for like emails, you always want to start out with a question that kind of something they have to interact with and they have to answer. Will they answer this? Who knows? But when you ask a question, at least you're getting them to do something. You want to know that they're actually getting your emails. One, two, they're reading them. They may not, but this is the email that goes out automatically for them. You can edit this if you want. You can't edit the default. See, if it says default, you can't edit it. The kvCore won't let you, but you can copy it and then name it whatever you want, and then you can edit these, but we'll go through that on the campaign class. So day one, day two, this is what it's saying. Okay, so on day two, they're going to get call and don't leave a voicemail. It's telling you what to do. Okay, day two, again, it's going to send them a text, an automatic text. Are you an investor? This is the text they get. All right. I saw you visited the website the other day. I meant to ask you, are you an investor? Again, it's a question. You're invoking them to respond so that they think you're doing this. All right. We as real estate agents or salespeople, we know that CRMs do this for us. Believe it or not, most of the public, they know they get some automation, but if they get a text like this, they're not going to know it's automated. They're going to think you're actually texting them. They're going to think you are on the ball. So when you set up campaigns, you're going to want to send campaigns that invoke a response, that are actually communicating with them. So that's day 2. And you see this goes all the way down to day 720. Okay. So this campaign goes on for what, 2 years? And so there is something in here, and I'll go through that, kind of like once a response is made, this will stop. Or if you talk to them, you can take them off this campaign. Okay. Because you don't want to, if you're actually selling them a house, and they close, you don't want to keep doing this. So, but you can make it go in depth and as long as you want. That way they still think you're keeping in contact. Because like I said the other day at the presentation, the person that's talking to them when they want a house is the person they're going to use. They're not going to be loyal unless you know them or they're physically referred to you. They're going to go with whoever's out there showing them the shiny object at that time. So that's basically campaigns. Right here, you can, if you wanted to take one of these defaults and you want to clone it, you do that, then you can edit it. Okay. So when we do the campaign class, this is how where we're going to be to do that. Right now, just get them in a default campaign. Check one out that, kind of shows what you like and then use it. All right, let me see if I have any other question. Okay.
I have a question or a comment, Sean.
Okay.
So 2 things. Just one is kind of like just a statement, that we talked about over the course of next year. We're going to have a calendar that kind of goes in depth about this different things that we're going to cover each Monday.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this stuff, if you're looking at it and you're like, it seems like it's too much, just know that we're going to do a step-by-step, how to build your database, how to build effective campaigns, and then one thing I think that all of us need to probably do is add a holiday campaign or to where you can just basically say hello outside of real estate jargon.
Yeah. I agree. And
okay,
the more you can stay in touch with them, I would say don't be concerned about overloading people. I would rather overload them than not. If they don't like getting a bunch of emails or texts or whatever from me, then they hit the road. Fine. It's a numbers game. And I'm talking about leads. Okay. I'm not talking about individuals that or Sphere or anything. I'm talking about leads. I used to worry, oh my gosh, I'm texting them and emailing them so much, they're going to think I'm such a crazy salesperson. Crazy salespeople make a ton of money. Okay. The ones that lay back and do nothing or think that the system's going to take care of it for them are not successful. I mean, that's just the way it is. So don't worry about that. Blow them up. And you'll see a lot of these campaigns that are meant for leads coming in, blow that customer up in the first week, because that's when you want to just hammer them, because you want to know, you want to get where are they at and what do they really want. Okay. Just be annoying, because you're going to be more successful if you're annoying. One of the things I've heard from coaches, one is SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Okay. You gotta think about it that way. Some people want to work with you, some won't. So what? All right. There's enough people that are buying or selling that you're going to be able to find the right ones. Don't worry about annoying them. If you annoy them, you do. So what? Get as many no's as you can. The more no's you get, the more money you make. That's a fact. That means the more people you're talking to, get 50 no's, you're going to get a couple yeses. You get 3 no's, you're not going to get any yeses. So the more you talk to, the more money you're gonna make, more successful. I think there's a question. Hand up.
John Tucker.
Hey, John. Go ahead and unmute.
There we go. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
unmuted. So, and I know you said you were going to do this later, but part of my thing to do is to get everything imported today.
Yeah.
And so this is more of a procedural question. I have a lot of international phone numbers in my database because I'm
Yeah.
from Germany. And a lot of these numbers, I have a CSV file in front of me, and you know, they have the codes to dial out of country. You have to dial like 011, and
Yeah.
anyway, the phone numbers are showing up logarithmic on here. If I put that little apostrophe in front, I can make that all appear as text. How does
Yeah.
the import wizard handle that? Do I need to get rid of those apostrophes? Can I leave them?
Good question. I haven't, the international stuff. See something.
All right, I'll try it 2 different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
That one I don't know, because I haven't done that. But when you, on the bulk lead, like you said, I was gonna show you guys that. It's under lead engine.
Right.
Lead engine, then up here to the right, bulk lead import. Okay. So
I'm actually working on the template right now.
Yeah,
So,
and there's 2 videos here that are good. Let us handle it. For most people who are not tech savvy, let them do it. Otherwise, get started. And when you get started, it tells you, like what you said, upload your CSV files. Once you do that, you're going to map each part of that CSV, each line, each piece of data to the kvCore data. So you'll have to go one by one and map them. Not on each one. You just need to do it once and it'll be for everybody. That's what he's talking about with the international phone numbers. Good question. I don't know that answer because I haven't come across that. But you can definitely go down here, always with kvCore, and you can, you know, start a conversation. And they're pretty good. I mean,
Okay,
I've had
I'll try
good
that.
experience with them.
I'll try that as I get further along in cleaning this
Yeah.
up. I have like the database all my stuff got pulled from has like 5 different phone number fields, and I'm consolidating. And
there's, you can like put them in notes or something if you don't have enough fields. But yeah, so this is where you would go to bulk upload. If you get a list from somebody and you don't want to wait for kvCore to do it for you, this is where you do it. You know,
okay.
you click browse files, and then you pick that CSV file and you'll map it and upload it. And that's really all there is to it. It's not that people get confused because they don't, when they go to browse and then they got to map the fields, that's where they get screwed up. But mapping, it's easy. It's not that hard to do.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll muddle my way through it. I mean, I'm generally relatively tech savvy. It's the
Yeah, you sound
nuances
like,
that I need to.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank
So-
you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so let's go back to marketing. We're going to be wrapping it up here in a minute. I want to just show you this because this is going to be in, you know, when we do campaigns, I'm gonna also put in hashtag management. But to get to see where what is your hashtags and how, you know, how many you have, because a lot of people, some people will have a ton of them, are right here, hashtag. So it's under marketing, hashtag management, same place, you know, smart campaigns here. When you go view hashtags, you'll see your list of hashtags right here. These are all the ones that are in Karen's, and you can create it. When I was doing Facebook ads for us, I would use hashtags big time because it made it so easy to start a campaign and automation. I would post a Facebook ad, whatever that ad is. That ad may be for, you know, finding your home in Pinellas County for under 300,000. You always want to hit something that's not really realistic. And then in that, they click that ad, and then it'd take them to a landing page and they'd fill it out. And then I would have it automatically mapped here into kvCore with a hashtag. And let's say my hashtag was Pinellas buyer minus 300. So that's what I would know. And then when that hashtag came in, it would automatically start a campaign. And that campaign for Facebook ads for me would be call, text, email, first day within an hour. Okay. And it would do that automatically. I wouldn't even have to do that. The call I would have to do, but the text and the email and even the voicemail drop. Now, if they put in a bogus phone number, nothing you can do. That's going to happen. Nothing you can do. If they don't want to give you their real number, they're not much use to you. If you want to email them, you can. But texting is a huge conversion tool. The other thing I would do is chat bots too with Facebook, and hashtag them through that. That's totally down the road, nerdy kind of stuff, but you can be really successful with it if you do it consistent. Any of this stuff, if you don't do consistently, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. You can't do it for a week. You got to do it for 6 months. And then you can properly decide if this is working or not. So hashtags are going to be very important. You can add them here, add a hashtag, or you can add them when you enter the contact. Used to be in kvCore, you can only add them with a contact. So I'd always have to create, dummy contacts so I could put in my hashtags. Now they've gotten smart enough to where they put it to where you're just adding a hashtag. I would use hashtags. I would use them, and you can use multiple ones, and you want to use multiple ones. Buyer, he's a buyer. That's maybe one hashtag. The other hashtag, maybe the city's looking for a house. There's all different kinds of hashtags you can make it so that, it makes it easy for you to track them. So hashtags are important. Yeah, John, I think you just raised your hand. Or is that the old? I guess that's the old. Okay.
I think it's the old one.
Okay. So that's basically the start of what I'm going to go through in kvCore. Like I said, this is going to be, I'll give this to Karen or Brian to upload on your YouTube page. It's going to be on my YouTube page. So there's going to be different ways that you can access it. If you need to go back, always feel free to contact me. If I'm busy at the moment, I'll set up an appointment with you so we can go through it. If you're really needing something done now, I will set up an appointment for you. I'll try to get it in the day. This time of year is a great time of year to reach out to me because everybody's slow. I'm slow. I don't have that many loans, and I am a sales manager, so I got other people I'm managing. But this is the good time of year. This is the best time of year to just get your database in order. Start 2022 with everything you're going to want to do with your database. This is where the very successful agents are good at doing this. Okay. Karen gets a lot of repeat business because she has her database in here. I would say that every agent that I know that's been doing it for a while get repeat business because of what they do in their CRM and their database. So just definitely make use of this. There are YouTube videos on this stuff too. They have their own, kvCore has their own site. So if you wanted to go ahead and look at it, you can. But if you really want to get one-on-one and have, if you're running into a problem, even if it's after hours, if it's something you want to get done right now, just text me. I mean, I'll let you know if I'm available, and I will have no problem walking you through something. But
Hey, Sean, could I add one thing?
Yep.
So one of my favorite quotes is, where your attention goes, energy flows. And you mentioned this, so it's just a different way of saying it, which is if we go in here and we work on this every single day, we're going to get a lot more out of it. If our attention is on it, we're going to put more energy into it, and we're going to get more out of it. And just one thought on one thing that I want to personally do that I think is kind of a good goal is this. Let's just say, for instance, that there's 3 subdivisions that I want to get listings in and do business with those people. I want to put all of those people in here. And then I want to work for the rest of the year with my Facebook ads campaign and my reach out campaigns and the different things I'm doing to have those people, because we can put them in there, we can get their address from the tax records and upload that into a CVS pretty easy. So we could pull up all of the homes in the subdivision really easy. But to get all of those people's contact information it's a different word problem, right? But if you focus on doing that over the whole year and you're running campaigns and you're sponsoring walks and you're asking the people to raise their hand and give you their contact information, by this time next year, I hope to have 50–60% of the people that are in the subdivisions that I want to works contact information. And I think that when that happens and you start sending out, hey, did you know that in the first quarter of this year, prices went up another 9%? And, you're trying to get that business that way. It's just a good goal and a good way to do it if we're going to focus on lead generation.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, small tasks equal big results. If you do your small task, if you look at it like, oh, I want this whole neighborhood and I gotta put all these names, but if you do it small tasks, before you know it, you're gonna have more names in here that you can contact. One of the things that I'm gonna go over at one point also is, and you can do this now, if you're tech and you want to try it, take your database and upload it into Facebook as a custom audience. Facebook will go and find the profiles of everybody that you put in this custom audience. You can run ads to your database in Facebook also as a custom audience. It doesn't cost $1 a day. I always say, if you do your database on Facebook as a custom audience, spend $1 a day, $365 a year. They're going to get ads in front of them all the time. They're not going to know it's like in front of them all the time. They're going to see it's from you. So they just think you're posting stuff, but they're always going to see it. And, you can add to that list in the custom audience throughout the year, and then just continually hit people with you. You got to make sure that you're the one that they know, because whenever they're talking to a coworker or friend and they're going to buy a house, they're going to sell a house, normal people who are in the workforce, who are not salespeople like we are, they don't understand that every dollar you make is from deals that you bring in. So anybody they come across is a possible deal. I'm starting to ask people more during the transactions, do you know anybody that wants to refinance or buy a house? And I do that several times throughout the process, because you never know it. Tomorrow they may meet somebody and they just don't think of you, because whether we want to accept it or not, they don't think of us. Okay. When that house closes, they don't want to have anything to do with us a lot of times, not because they're mad, because they're just moving on with their life. And if you did a good job, you definitely want to have your face in front of them. So I'm going to wrap it up. And one of the things I want to say is I'm available. If you guys ever come across buyers over the weekend, text me. I mean, I don't have hours. Okay. A lot of loan officers I work with they turn their phone off at 6, or they don't answer after a certain period. I'm already past all the family. I mean, I have a family, but I'm past the point where I'm spending a ton of time with my kids and stuff like that. They're grown, a little bit grown. And I'm available. I take phone calls at night all the time. I really don't have a problem with it. So if you need somebody qualified, or I don't say qualified, approved, because I don't do qualified, just reach out to me. I will, even if it's a question, even if you have somebody that is going through a transaction right now, they're having issues, reach out to me. If you have a listing, you have an offer that comes in that you're kind of like, I don't know if I should take this, what's going on with this mortgage, just reach out to me. I can probably figure it out. I'm here to help you. I'm going to help you grow your business, and then we're going to grow our businesses together. So I'm here for you, and you have my contact information. Reach out to me anytime. Any more questions, and I'll write at the top of the hour and I'll sign off, and we'll be done today. Oh, and keep in mind, I won't be here next Tuesday, because I do have an event next Tuesday. and we'll resume it on the 20. Does everybody think 28th is okay to resume? Or do you think people are gonna be on holiday mode?
I think we should, a couple things, Sean. I think we're going to put out a calendar that
Okay.
has what we're doing, when we're doing it. And I also think that we should always try and end with some type of to do. So today you showed us how to add somebody. Let's try and add somebody and get them on a campaign.
Try it out.
But
right?
I'll work with you on that. You know, we're
Okay.
working on the full schedule that kind of shows the stuff that we're doing on Monday and Thursday and so forth. So no, it's great news. You know, maybe we'll try and do a to-do next Tuesday or something like
Okay.
that. But we'll get the calendar out. Appreciate everything you did today,
All
buddy.
right, the recording will be, once it does what it does, I'll send it to Karen, or do I should I send it to both you guys, Karen and Brian, or?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
push it out to everyone.
Okay.
And then we can get it uploaded to our channels, and I'll let everyone know where those are.
I'll put it on my YouTube channel. And so you guys can always access my YouTube channel and see what videos I posted. I've gotten lazy again. I got busy, so I haven't been doing a lot of videos, and that's just, there's no excuse for that. I mean, it's just,
I know.
it's
Me
terrible. I
either.
mean, the channel keeps growing. People keep watching videos, and they keep commenting. I actually had to delete a couple comments this week. I guess people get a little annoyed about things during the holidays. I just had some crazy posts on my St. Pete video. People are weird, but you know, you can go to it and look, and it's growing. And that's something I'll teach you guys. I did a presentation on that before. We'll go back into YouTube stuff. There's just so many tools. I know it gets overwhelming. Focus in on this today. Add contacts. Add your contacts. Put them on a campaign today. Do
That's
on
our
your lead.
homework.
Do it today. Any leads that you've gotten in the last 6 months and you don't know where they're at, put them in. Okay. Even though that might be a lot, put them in, you know, get it done, because your database will grow before you know. All
Thank
right.
you, Sean.
Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm going to stop it here. Y'all have a great day. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Stop share. Stop recording.